Whoever's next.
What do you mean who's...
We were in the...
Oh, for the rate the makeup.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know what you meant by that. I thought you were talking about what we were talking about earlier. I don't know if it was the Miss Incredible part,
We don't need to bring that up. So hello everyone.
Back to Pokemon.
We're doing
To the wonderful world of Megas.
Okay, so the whole reason why I actually wanted to bring this up was because the Mega Evolutions were coming out for Pokemon Go. And because I wanted to show that to you guys, I wanted to show, well, I kind of wanted to do this little rating system with the Mega Evolutions from each of the generations. So, I am the titular Salt. Next to me is my lovely co-host Sass. And with us are our special guests, once again, Spice.
Thank you.
This is the only thing we have.
Alright.
I would like to add that I think I kind of understand what Megas are now. They're basically just slightly stronger for some time, because why not?
What's really funny is, like, when we first recorded this, you were so all over the place.
I still am.
You were like, don't get me wrong, but at least you're like, I have some background information now, and I'm not drunk.
Who said either of those things?
No, but now we are a bit more drunk. We have been drinking a little. She hasn't. Sass has not.
No, I just drank milk because I'm a milk gremlin.
Yes. So,
No
let's
worries, to
get
each
started.
their
I
own.
have my little rating sheet right here. We were on
I
God
was
of War
waiting
last
for the
time.
handy dandy
God of
notebook,
War,
and that
yes.
didn't happen. I got really sad.
Don't worry, we have our handy dandy.
Notebook!
Right.
I'm
By
a
chance, does
3-year-old.
your notebook have my grade for Guadavla?
Yeah.
Guadava?
Guadavla.
I
we
thought you
gave
were
it
trying
a-
to say Guam, and it didn't work out right.
We give the final
I'm trying to add like the
score-
the Waluigi lilt into it.
Oh.
Wow.
We gave it a final score of 8.
Out of 10, right?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a number-based system from 1 being we hate it, 10 being we love it, 5 being it's okay.
It's up to par to what it
Yeah.
needed to be.
I would
It's
honestly
average.
say 5 is worse than 1 for me, just because 5 means you're average. I don't like you
yeah.
enough to
It's
hate you.
basic.
You're not even good enough to
At
hate.
this point, guys, just go with it. Same with them. Alright, next. Who's supposed to be even in the next one?
Our next one's Gengar.
Oh, okay.
Gengar.
What happened to his hands?
That was the first
He
thing
got
you noticed?
extra shadowy.
The shadows aren't pink.
Like malevolent shadow. So now he's not just hiding in the dark. No, he's like actively trying to
I just
pull you
love
to
that
another
in my
world.
head. All I kept thinking is his third eye open. That chakra is now closed.
Yeah, probably.
And I'm just like now like, oh my god, what would happen if Gengar was a psychic?
He's like,
My mind went to he's got some bling.
oh, we should like see the Gigantamaxes. Not like on camera, but you guys should see the Gigantamaxes of some of these Pokemon. They're so cool.
Oh yeah, no. Especially my Fire Bunny, that one's funny.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I've been playing a lot of Pokemon like Sword and Shield lately.
Ah.
So that's why I'm saying that.
Are you the sword or the shield?
We have both. Because I'm that obsessed.
Well, we now have both. We borrowed Sword from a friend, and I bought Shield.
He is never getting that back, by the way. Like, he's not asked us about it, and he's never gonna get it back.
You know, I don't think I've played an actual Pokemon game completely through since the old Mystery Dungeons on the DS.
Seriously?
Yeah.
You should.
I mean, I've never played a
But
whole
like, I don't have anything Nintendo anymore.
But I've like never
I'm
played
not
a
gonna
Pokemon
drop like
game.
$500 for a Switch to play with Gengar and his pink gloves.
You said gloves, okay.
Well, this was during the Mega Evolution thing. Like now they have Dynamax, which is this whole other mess that we don't have to deal with right now.
Is
So-
it still like time based?
Yes.
Yes, it's like a certain amount of turns. I think it's like 3 or 4.
So it can get stronger for a couple turns, or
He's like
even
strong
stronger
for like
a couple
4 or
turns.
5 turns, and then he like goes back to being normal.
Yeah. That is exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah, this
It's
is
just supposed
this
to be
is
a
a weird
boost.
nitpick, but if they're gonna add temporary boosts, why didn't they just make them more like the X attacks and everything they used to use before? It just seems like a flashier version of a
You
stat
mean like
up.
signature moves or something like that?
I'm
Or like
sorry,
Z
Gengar,
moves?
you've brought too many questions onto my mind. I love you, homie. I gotta give you a 3.
Do you know what's really funny?
Wow.
It was
wow.
like literally for the last 3 minutes
You're
we
not
weren't even
aesthetic.
talking. We weren't even talking about Gengar, and you still give him a bad rating. What
He's
the
not
hell,
aesthetic.
What the hell is your system?
It's whatever my heart speaks to me.
That was a really weird roundabout way of saying that when we haven't even talked about Gengar this entire effing time.
Okay, yeah, that isn't
But
great,
he started
but
off that entire tangent.
Okay, that's true.
I want to give him like a 5 because this is just it's the next level
Ooh.
of he's stronger or he's more menacing looking.
I wouldn't say menacing looking. I would.
Okay, hold
Like,
on.
I could see that coming to me at a con, and I wouldn't
So
run.
here's my whole thing: is like he definitely has a different color scheme, so he's definitely a step up. He definitely has like blood pretty much on his teeth at this point. He does have his third chakra open, and he has a tail. So like it's definitely a step up to when he was before.
This is like weird, like shadow magic though. Like his eyes were pink originally.
Yeah, but I'm just
So
saying.
now like more of his body is like glowing this like pinkish.
But it definitely added it up. But if it was an evolution, not so much if it was like a whole extra different thing.
Okay.
Like with like Charizard, he got two different evolutions, and one was like a better version of what he was supposed to be,
Mhm.
and then the other one was a completely different version that was a step up from that. So it's like those two makes total sense. That one was stayed as the color scheme, and one was a complete step up, because they both in some ways stepped up. This one kind of didn't. It's more like a step up of an evolution, not so much of a like giant big thing that I should be terrified of.
One question I want to ask is, well, Gengar before he has the Mega Evolution, right? Well, seeing him like this now, where's the Mega?
Yeah. Like it's not really.
And I feel like, yeah, you got at that with what you were saying too.
Yeah, so it's like for me, he's not. It's not a memorable one. Therefore, he's like a 4 because he doesn't even go up to 5 because he's not a mega.
I mean, I love his transition from Haunter to Gengar.
Yeah, but like this is like
this
is like an extra evolution, not a mega evolution.
Okay,
Well,
now
this is
I'm
like that
playing some
weird
favorites here. I do
puberty.
wish you guys saw the shiny version of this because he becomes white.
Oh, that would be cool.
So it goes like from his like
White
blue,
on.
weird like wispy to purple, with these are his shinies, to like extra purple, and then to white.
I just
Solid
realized
white?
these are all
Yeah.
in alphabetical order. Why did we do that?
I don't know. It
Oh.
seemed easier than
Yeah.
trying to listen by things. So
What
that's
do we
a
do when
3,
we
a
get to like
5,
the
and a
5
4.
Z's?
Total up, that's 4.
Okay, so he's just.
It's
an
just a
average
solid 4,
player.
yeah.
Okay,
Sorry, homie.
but like, don't get us wrong. We love Gengar.
Of course.
You're one of my
But
favorites.
we wish he had better.
Like, let's be real. If we were in a Pokemon world, Gengar would definitely be following me. I attract ghosts. All right, what is this word?
Galay.
Galay.
Galay. Galay?
What's the proper pronunciation?
It's the,
What?
Galai.
Galay. Galili.
Galili.
No, Galay, like glacier. Glalie.
Okay, so.
Glalie, that's what it is. Okay. So this is the evolution to Snorunt. It's that like giant soccer ball looking, hockey mask looking kind of thing. And now here's his Mega. He
So-
looks more icy, which is what you want because he's a nice type
Hand
Pokemon.
me my phone.
Sure.
It just basically kind of looks like. It just looks like it opened its mouth. That's like it.
You know, to me, it kind of hits me as like a middle-aged ice Pokemon on his way home from the supermarket.
Because his like rocky
It's the
lower
stubble.
half kind of looks like a beard.
Yeah, it's the stubble.
Okay.
Is it this one?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, it literally just looks like, okay, you know what, this looks like the teenage version, and that looks like the old man version. Like, get off my lawn, kid!
So this was supposed to be an evolution, not a Mega. In that
Yeah,
sense.
in that sense, because it just looks like, it literally looks like, when you, like, look up the actual original thing, it looks like a very young, businessman-looking dude.
Really?
Or like a teenager, and now he's like evolved into an angry old man telling kids to get off his lawn. Like literally the same kids he used to be. Because he even has like a beard now, he has a mouth open for yelling, and like his eyes are now red here. And then he just has a horn, because why not? He's trying to hit you. He's just trying to kill you. Like literally, I just see him as an old man just yelling, get off my lawn. Or like has a stick in his hand and is trying to hit you with it constantly. You both are just shaking your heads. You're not even like.
we're agreeing. We're letting
what I'm saying.
we're letting you go on this tangent.
Yeah, you're explaining your own thoughts
You're
on it.
analyzing it, which is
Yeah.
what we kind of want.
I'm just saying he looks like he looks like such a. He just looks like an old man who just never figured out that his midlife crisis is not over.
Oh,
Um.
I'm so sorry, Galati.
Well, the other evolution of Snorunt evolves into like a snow ghost type. So I wish this one was ghost type, and I'm not sure if it is. Is it?
Let's
Go
Check.
look it up while I also have to roast it. Because
It's just an ice from what I see.
it's just a bigger ball, and that's kind of okay. I do wish it had, like, maybe ice pillars floating
Well,
around
he
it or
has
something
little
like that.
flails right here now.
He's got some
They're
feet.
ice spikes. He had spikes on top, and they're
And he
more...
has a beard. He has a gigantic mouth.
He had
and
a
horn.
gigantic mouth
He's
in the
horny
previous
now.
ones.
He has a horn.
Oh my god.
So for this Mega, this ice Pokemon became a unicorn, an old man with a stubble, and learned how to walk.
Final score?
Oh,
Idiot.
um,
So, Galady, you're
it's like a 4 for
No.
me.
you're not my kind of Pokemon. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's
5.
just
5, okay.
this one just makes me sad. Like this makes me not want the future.
I'll also say 5. Again, I'm saying 5 is not terrible. It's expected. But you want something amazing to happen, right? When
You know,
with this,
for
like,
me,
Mega
5
I
is
want
like
what happened with Gardevoir.
This could have just been an evolution.
Yeah.
It could have just been an evolution. Why do they have to add the idea of Mega to it?
I feel like I would just use this guy as a trash can.
honestly,
So-
if I saw this out in the wild, I wouldn't waste a Pokeball on you.
What was that, like a 4.7?
A 5. You're not worth my attention.
5, 5, and 4. So brought it down a little.
Yeah, so like
4.7, 4.8.
A 4.5.
Just do a math problem. I don't know.
Just round
I'll
down.
say 4.8.
To those nice whole numbers.
It's like technically
No,
a
'cause
four,
we've
it's like
had-
4.75, but whatever.
We've had point something before.
Yeah, it's like 4.75.
And I think one of our highest is actually an 8.3.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't even
Who
remember
was
which
that?
one was that one.
Ace Pokemon. We'll look at it later.
It's been like 3 months since we recorded, so like
Yeah,
we
the
have
Megas already came out, and they're
no
they're
memory.
okay. They're only okay, guys.
Okay,
Gyarados.
Oh my god.
Okay.
I say his name wrong too, because you guys say Gyarados, I say Gyarados.
I think with this one, he became a Dragon type Pokemon. In this state.
It just looks like he's trying to revert back to being a Magikarp. Like this feels like this should have been the evolution between the Magikarp and Gyarados.
Really? But
It
Gyarados
seems
is
more
way
like-
skinnier.
You know, before he had like the water dragon thing going on.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
And now it just has more like sea monster vibes to it.
like,
Okay, which is a good thing, then.
Like instead of mythical, it's sort of like a Cthulhu mythos, you know?
Well, like
Okay,
the reason
yeah.
I'm saying he looks like he's trying to transition from a Magikarp to this to then Gyarados is because like literally when you look at Gyarados, you probably hate the fact that I call him that. Literally when you look at him in like his evolved version, this looks like the final evolution, and that one looks like him
Like a-
transitioning between
Okay.
Magikarp. Like he feels like this should have been the middle transition between Magikarp and Gyarados.
I could see this as the last step before it becomes a massive, like the world's biggest Magikarp.
Well, like that. What I'm saying
In just
is
one
like this.
long roundabout cycle.
Like, if you have Magikarp, then you have this, and then you have Gyarados, it would make total sense as to why it turned into a Gyarados. Because Magikarp to, like, Gyarados and
Gyarados.
you hate that I call it that.
You even misspelled it here.
Could we just call
I
him
don't
Gary?
even care.
Or how about Gravy?
What I'm saying is, like, you have it, like, where it has a fin like a fish. It kind of still has that thing that, you know, what's it called? Magikarp has.
Whiskers.
And it still has a tail. And
Like a
then you
catfish.
look up, yeah, and then you look up Gyarados. I still call him Gyarados.
He still has the whiskers.
He still has the whiskers, but like they're not as long in the regular evolution.
Mm-hmm.
So like this almost seems like it should have been the transition between Magikarp and Gyarados. It really does.
I mean, I like what you're saying. I like that you're kind of saying a different opinion because I've heard a lot of other Pokemon YouTubers talk about this evolution, and they like it or they love it.
I don't hate it. I'm just saying it's not a step above Gyarados. It's literally just it's like a lower transition for me. It literally feels like this should have been between Magikarp and the other Gyarados. Like, this should just have been like
This
the
should have been the
transition.
second evolution, and Gyarados would have been the third one.
Yeah, this is not like a step up of Gyarados.
But
It's
wouldn't
literally...
Gyarados in the third one be a step down because it's so skinny?
No, I wouldn't say that. Because Magikarp is, like, it's technically pretty
He's
big.
round.
He's rounded, and this is the rounded part, and then he gets skinnier at the bottom. So he would
To
still
kind of
get
make
skinny.
him more like flying type.
Yeah.
So he's more aerodynamic. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, honestly, this feels like it should have been the thing. You guys can think whatever you want. I'm
Well,
just saying.
That being said, what's your rating?
I didn't get to say anything.
Yeah, I know. Like,
Okay, I heard you thinking like a lot, so I
you
want.
heard him thinking, "Holy crap!
Get out of my head.
What do you think?
I hear you
Sir
doing
Mike?
a lot of
Thank you
contemplating
for
noises.
asking.
Yes, Sir Spice. Let us
But
know.
let's hear it.
Thank you very much for asking. So I get a lot of the points you have, but my main thing for me is, Gyarados is one of those originals.
Yeah.
And for a long time, I didn't really understand what they could do to actually grow him from that sort of classic image.
Mhm.
And from this view, I see how, like the effort they put in and how hard they actually tried to make
See
it
the
seem.
growth?
Yes.
I
I
wish his
see
teeth were
how
longer.
that, how you see it as a step down. I can see it as that second evolution actually clamoring towards something higher, and actually being something that looks physically and actually more mature, if that makes any
So
sense.
you think it's more mature than the actual Gyarados that is now?
Yeah, look at the fin.
I forget what it says in the decks, like because the Mega Evolutions have their own decks too.
So you're kind of saying this is like...
So like it went from, just like that weird little water snake to the, river monster that eats people on 12th Street.
Okay. So it's kind of like, I'm trying to think of it in like an analogy that I can understand. Like, I think of this as like, oh, okay, so this went from Magikarp as a kid, this should be the teenager, and then Gyarados is like the adult. Yours is like, or Gyarados is a young adult, whereas you're saying this is like the older adult.
It's kind of like having a kitten, transform into a tiger for whatever reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
Like, you think it's beyond, and I don't.
Yeah, I have sort of the opposite point of view from
Yeah,
you.
exactly.
You
have the same, like, thinking, it's just opposite.
You give me the idea that I think a lot of people complained about with Mega Evolutions, like, oh, they're just trying to copy Pokemon now because this is basically digivolving.
Never seen Digimon.
But
Me
I
They
either.
don't-
play their weird dice game.
Oh my, yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Digimon, I'm sorry, you get a 2.
We're not rating Digimon! But
Your dice made no
Oh,
sense.
digital monsters, that's what it means.
What was with the grids and the hexagon? Go on, Hector.
You say that, but you
Digital.
play D&D. Shut up.
Anyways,
We don't use like fancy.
That's true. Anyways.
I'm kind of glad they didn't add metal to this Gyarados because that would have like thrown off the
that
whole
would have
thing.
been an overshot.
The whole thing about Gyarados is that he is a monster filled with rage, and that's why he takes so long to evolve. Is that like
Oh.
it's about a koi fish. It's the legend of a koi fish, or like a bass swimming upriver and becoming a sea serpent, like this like godlike dragon.
Mm-hmm.
So to see the godlike dragon Gyarados evolve into a Mega Gyarados, it just reminds me of a now stronger, more powerful dragon, a more stronger spirit, more stronger like deity creature. And with the longer catfish whiskers, it gives me that idea. The longer horn on its head again gives me the idea. The longer fin on its back gives me the idea. I wish his mouth was sharper. I wish it had like longer teeth to just add more to the ferocity of this creature, because it's supposed to be, with all the Mega Evolutions, it's supposed to be they gain more power before a limited time, otherwise they wouldn't be able to control. Like their bodies would literally like be exhausted from the amount of power that they have like exuding out of them. And with Gyarados, essentially the fish of rage, he's literally just emanating more of this like anger, more of this like fury
just
power.
imagining a very feral Magikarp, and it's like not working out.
You never. You,
1,000 goldfish versus you.
Just nibbling. That's how I see Magikarp, just mad. Okay, what's your rating?
Yeah, what are his final ratings?
You know, your whiskers, your blue on gold. I love your aesthetic. I like how. This is one of the ones I like. Gyarados, I'm giving you a 9.
Oh.
Okay, I'm
Yeah, I'm
completely
still.
opposite.
I don't get your rating system, dude, but okay.
Yeah, like you. Mine's a 2.
Look at him. He
It's a
says
straight.
9.
It's a straight 2 for me.
9-2. Okay, I like this. I wish there was more. It is a step up, but in the right direction. 6.
I think you
9
two are being
to
so
6.
generous.
You know,
That's a
just
lower.
that
That's like
blue on
a
gold looks amazing.
5.6. Yeah.
I completely disagree with them, by the way.
That's good. Well, I want people in the comments to give us their ratings of these creatures and also their explanations for it. You can't really get into like, oh, they're better for competition. They're better for yada yada yada. No, it's literally it has to be appearance. What in its
Yeah,
appearance
this is all
lets me
based on
think?
preference.
Yeah. Like, what is your preference of? We would love to hear it.
Like how you felt about the other one where you wouldn't waste a Pokeball on it, I wouldn't waste a Pokeball on this.
I would.
Well, no, you don't.
If I saw that, like, while I was fishing, I'd jump in the ocean and
Okay,
just
if we're
start
talking about if we saw
looking.
that in the like fishing now, I'd be like, how the hell did you catch Loch Ness monster over here?
With love.
That's
With love.
total BS. Okay.
Okay, can I share something with you before we go to the next one? So you know Mega Evolved Pokemon can't exist in the wild, right?
That's what makes it so terrifying.
They're made with a special like Mega Site that's specific to that specific Pokemon.
Maybe it's because the fin reminds me of Zoidberg from Futurama. I don't know. It's just-
They're then supposed to be like fused with like an activation stone that the trainer uses, and their bond with the Pokemon brings them to the Mega form. So you can't find this in the wild unless like a trainer has like lost control of it somehow.
Oh my god.
But even then, it'll just revert back to a Gyarados, like a regular Gyarados.
You know, sometimes you're just struck by lightning.
Alright, next one. Heracross. This is the...
A stag beetle?
Yes.
Uncreative. 1.
Well, hold on, look at its original form.
I love that we completely looked and just nitpick the hell out of freaking Gyarados. You just saw this bug and just went, ew, no, 1.
Last, we had a river dragon from, what was it, Japanese lore?
Yeah.
And now we have a little stag beetle.
Well, stag beetles are, like, they're popular in, well, like, for collectors and stuff.
Yeah, but
I feel like this does what Gyarados lacked for me last time.
Really?
Yeah.
Is
Just
it
because it
extra
kind of
horn?
keeps their... I hate you so much. No. It's because it completely changes it, but it keeps it original. And what I mean by that is like it still has, you know...
You know
The
that this is
original
Heracross.
design,
If you
like,
didn't see
right
a name, you'd know this was Heracross.
Yeah. But also you can see that it, like, changes. Like, his whole arms, his, like, whole face demeanor. Like, he looks more powerful than the version previous.
Mm.
Gyarados looked like a teenager to me.
You know, I honestly see all of that as its down points. Just,
And this is why you and I differ.
Well,
you know,
with,
like, yeah, you can tell it's Heracross, but that's the problem. You still look like you, and you still don't look like you're Mega yet.
Well, it feels like more of a Mega to me than the Gyarados did.
Does he have a pack down there?
No. Okay.
Will that be like a 3-pack for your apps?
They look
But,
like
like, for
vents.
Beetles, they do kind of look like vents. I'm just saying, like, he looks like he has more power in his arms. He definitely keeps some of his original design. He's a little bit darker than his actual coloring the other one is.
Mhm.
He has now horn. He also has horn and face that turned into nose. And he just looks more, like, ready to kill someone, whereas his other one looks like a very baby version, tiny bitty of him.
That is kind of based on Beetles, because, I forget who it was, Pinsir?
Mm-hmm.
He kind of looks like he has Pinsir's, Pinsir just sideways, like a proper stag beetle.
Yeah.
I like how part of his body is swelled out. I'm gonna keep saying this. It feels more robotic in that there are
Yeah.
now parts of the like inner part of his mechanism that are exposed, and like if this was like a steel type or it was like a robot Heracross, you'd see steam coming out of these areas with like a huge blast coming from the head, or like it'd be glowing red.
Well, he's also a bug fighting type.
Okay, so he transfers to fight. Yeah, that makes sense because stag beetles, they do fight like for territory and all that by flipping each other over with their large horns. The larger the horn, the more like alpha male that particular beetle is. So this is literally, oh, he has become alpha, where the other one was what was like gamma or beta.
I still just love that you looked at him.
I forget which one's like the lesser, but it's not like the
I'm sassy.
it's not the submissive one.
You were Spice. Get it right.
Sorry, I don't know where I keep getting shut up.
And okay, they kind of explain that too in like the male female versions of original Heracross, where the female ones have more of a like a spade or a heart shaped look, because the males are the ones that are usually fighting for
Okay.
attention, or like for dominance.
Well, I still just love the fact that you just looked at it and went, ew, no, one. So is that your final rating?
You know, there's one big thing I just can't get over for you.
What is?
So if you just block out the name for a second and just look at you,
Yeah.
No.
I can see you in so many other things beside Pokemon. And I just feel like that's a big problem. You're supposed to belong in Pokemon, but I could see you as a bug doing almost anything else.
He looks like he could be in Digimon.
Yeah, he looks like he'd be in A Bug's Life or something, you know?
Oh
And-
my god, you and I went totally different routes.
There are
And-
stag beetles in Digimon,
But
or in Bug's Life.
And
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, but you're uncreative, and you just don't fit in this world to me. You deserve a 1.
Harsh. Okay.
But
Just-
honest.
I wish I could just add a little teardrop to his face right now and just like such a harsh critique.
You could do
Sassy,
that
your,
in post,
I'd
right?
say like I'd say like a 6.5. I think it did a lot better than the Gyarados did. Gyarados. How do you say it?
Gyarados.
Okay. I'll
Gary
never.
Buciodos.
Gary, like SpongeBob.
I'll just call it Gary now.
Gary too.
No, literally, I he does so much better than the other one did. What about you?
I like it. I do kind of like that he's a bug fighting, which just brings more to the actual like biological, the real life stag beetles.
Mhm.
I give it a 6.
Okay.
So that's a 4.5. Okay.
I'm sorry, Heracross.
May the odds be ever in your favor.
I just.
Well, we're trying to find
crippled
one
you.
that we all also enjoy. So
Yeah.
next, Houndoom.
Oh.
Demon Dog becomes more hellish.
Where did he get the anklets from?
Well, he actually has them.
Yeah, he's
Has
had them
them.
before,
Wait,
but
he
now they're
lost the
broken.
back to.
He's unleashed.
He looks like what Cerberus should look like with 3 heads.
Yeah.
Oof. I see it a bit more scary than Cerberus. It makes me think like a mix of a mountain goat and boxer.
I was gonna say not German Shepherd, Rottweiler.
It's the horns.
I love that picture of like the Houndoom dressed, or like he's
I just
bred
think,
with like certain
I think this one has a good attention to detail.
quote unquote violent dogs. I need to show you guys that picture later.
I just think this is just a better like version of detail, just because like if you look at the original one, it kind of looks like he has like a skull
Mm-hmm.
on top of his like where his thing is, and now it actually looks like those are the teeth to the skull,
Ooh.
and they've gotten bigger, and like this is now like a whole skull, and he just went through the eyes, and then now he has tusks right there, which kind of like
It looks like he's wearing Gengar's skull.
yeah, like literally. And then on top of that, like he still has the anklets, but he doesn't have the ones in the back, which I don't understand completely, but like whatever. The thing that weirds me out a little is like it feels like these should have been on his head, because in his original one they curve like that. They don't curve up like this.
Well, that feels more. I don't know. It feels more draconic than
Yeah.
demonic.
And then on top of that, like, you could tell he's like evolved into like a second phase because like in his other one, it just has the one like talon for the part of his like tail, and now it's like what are they called? No, tritons.
I was thinking like fangs or prongs.
Yeah, prongs. That's what I
Yeah,
meant
that's
to
the
say.
word.
Prongs, and now it's like an actual prong.
It was just
like,
a one tail, now
thing.
it's pronged.
Yeah, and then like even on the back where it has like these, they're spiked up in the middle, and like
Yeah, I can kind of see it with
and all the
perspective.
inklets that he used to have, they're on like the part of his tail. I think it's a way better version. So like
This is definitely a step up for you.
yeah, well, it's not even a step up. It's like this is past being an evolution. Like this is what Omega should look like.
Okay.
Huh.
Like it still kind of stays true to the roots, but at the same time, it's like so much better.
There's so much more ferocity in it, which is what you want.
Yeah, like he even has
You want
fangs now.
you want a Mega Evolution to be the more stronger looking version of your
Like
Pokemon.
this is the one you definitely want to protect your house. The other one is like his playmate. Like, and that's saying a lot because Houndoom in general is kind of terrifying. So now then you have an even more terrifying version of it. What say you two?
Okay, I feel like that's another thing. You want a Pokemon to look more awesome. Not more menacing, not more edgy. You want to look more like it should be, but cooler looking.
Do you know what's really funny? I'm sorry, this is just a weird little anecdote. Like in the original one, his like claws were like white.
His claws are a different color.
Yeah, now they're totally red, and I'm like, that's because either the blood of his enemies, or because he's like still nice enough to like, you know, that little trainer girl who used to like torture him as a child,
Wait,
and
what?
now he's older and she like is allowed to paint his toenails finally.
I feel like that works more towards his like
Oh,
flyer
I was
typing.
worried you're gonna go a different
'Cause he's,
direction with that.
No, that he just ate her. No.
He's
Ooh.
fire dark type, so it could be like, oh, they're like glowing red.
From the blood of his enemies. Exactly.
Not from blood, but from fire.
Or it's from the little
From the
girl.
fire he used to burn the blood of his enemies.
You guys are idiots, but I love it.
Or because it's that little girl that used to take care of him all the time, and now she's finally allowed to paint his toenails because he's like now older, and he's like, okay, I can just swipe at you if I don't like you.
You know, if that look, he's either 0 or 100.
So what say you?
So, you know, like the new wave of fighting games they have where you don't really customize the character, you just customize like their accessories, you know?
Yeah.
Look at this guy, you can change his glasses. Or maybe give him a fancy hat.
And you're just saying that's exactly what happened here. Someone tried to make a Maleficent dog and it didn't work out.
Like, I feel like they just changed a lot of the surface, you know? Like, they hit a lot of the major focal points, but they didn't really change, like, the shape of his face or, like, his arms or legs or his body. They just, you know, messed up the skull, expanded it, switched out the horns and tail, painted his toenails, and took off some of the bracelets.
Well,
I feel like it was more just surface level what they did here. Like,
I don't agree with the face thing just because his face looks more square compared to the round it was before.
Yeah, but I feel like, you know, while I
But
look
get
at
what
him,
you're saying with everything else.
I could really see, you know, what he looked like before he was Mega. Like, I could still see that resemblance, and it just seems too canny.
He looked more Doberman-ish in his like original form. Now he seems more wolf-ish, which is what I appreciate.
Well, that's why I said he looks more like a Rottweiler to me.
Yeah.
It's
Like the
even
previous
your
one
Rottweiler
kind of
in
looks like he was.
sweater.
Yeah, the previous one looks like he was trying to be like a wiener dog mixed with a Rottweiler, and now he looks like a Rottweiler.
I can't say Rottweiler. I just want to say raw.
Well, apparently I can't say Gyarados, so like whatever. We'll never live.
But
that
what
down.
are our final ratings for this?
Houndoom, I give you a 5.
7.
5. I give it a 9.
You give it a 9?
Yeah.
I feel like there's just some room, you know?
7. There's room for improvement, but I feel like that's a good thing.
Okay.
Like these Pokemon could still have
Oh
evolution
my
if they
god,
need
it
to.
grew up!
I literally thought
It grew up!
I literally saw Kazakhstan, and that is not what it is.
No, Kangaskhan. So, I don't feel like there's a lot of attention to the actual Genghis Khan, I feel like it's more towards the little one, and yeah, it grew up, and now it's the one that's joining the fight instead.
I mean, it doesn't look like the original Genghis Khan has actually changed
She did not
much.
improve at all, because all Genghis Khans are women in my eyes.
That sounded so sexist.
They're all
Hector, it's a different age now, buddy.
no. Think about it.
Oh,
There are
sorry,
moms-
salt.
No,
I mean
you
salt.
literally what you just said is like the most sexist thing I have heard you ever
Their
say.
mom, they're a
No,
mom carrying
it's just
a child.
mom who just never improves.
No,
I mean,
Jesus
I want to hold.
Christ.
Oh my god! Oh
Don't
my
t-
god!
don't take that out of context. Here's my.
I'm not saying out of context. You
Oh.
literally said like something
Oh.
similar to that. They are all women in my eyes because they don't change.
No, here's my analytics for it.
That's a
They're-
terrible way to interpret that.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying is how
Let
you
me
make it
explain
sound.
this. Jesus Christ. Okay, Genghis Khan, in my eyes, are all just this mother figure who's constantly taking care of this baby. They are very strong. They are very powerful. They don't need to improve.
Okay.
And because it's mega, you can already see that it didn't need to improve. The child improved.
Nice save.
It's bigger. It's grown up. It looks more like its mom. This is a Genghis Khan that, like, if it leaves, it'll grow up and start raising its own children.
I have a question.
Okay, that went way better.
So,
than I
like,
thought it was
suck it.
Well,
I'm sorry, the
I have
way
two
you
questions.
made it
Suck your
sound.
interpretation of my misogyny.
Oof. Don't tell him.
You're not like misogynist. That's why it threw me out because you are
Oh
not
my
misogynistic at all. And when you said that, I was like, whoa, hold up. And then now that you've explained it, it makes sense. But
Yeah,
still,
she doesn't need to improve.
the way you made it sound was like they never would. Now it makes sense. Okay.
Oh.
The baby Genghis Khan feels
Don't
like a
worry,
stand
guys.
user.
We still stand. Assault. Oh my god, that was so bad.
I would just like to let everyone know out there, we accept all of you as you are.
Except for you, CERN supporters.
Except for you misogynists.
You guys need to figure some crap out.
I mean, and Nazis. We don't appreciate them, no.
Yeah, no. Okay,
Ah.
let's be more specific. Everyone who's not a bad person.
You know, I read once that nothing is good or evil, but thinking makes it so. Instead of bad, I prefer to use I can't swear.
When did you turn?
We don't need to get philosophical on this
I
show.
literally was just like, when did you turn into Dr. Seuss? And Dr. Seuss is never philosophical, so like, I don't.
I have a joke I probably can't do on YouTube.
Isn't he also, like, painfully
Okay.
misogynistic?
Oh,
I don't know.
I had a
Don't say that. Don't say that. Dr. Seuss fans are gonna come for
back
your
on
head.
track. Back on track.
Is
So-
he or
so-
isn't he? I'm curious.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is supposed to be its mega, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you've mentioned that megas are timed. What happens to the baby?
They just get
They just
smaller
decide to
again.
go back into the huddle of the mother.
So does it mean it's sort of trapped in a never-ending perpetual state of childhood and growth?
I have no idea about that, actually.
Jesus Christ.
It kind
That
of reminds
just-
me of,
Oh, that just screwed me up.
Do you-
That messed me up.
Do you remember Ferritor from Mortal Kombat?
Yes.
Okay, so you know how at the end of it, Tor dies and Farah, like, gets bigger and, like, she needs a mount?
No.
You've never seen that?
I slept with her.
No, that's the thing that happens. So, Pharaoh's
I'm not
the
good with the big slow ones. I
Pharaoh's
prefer
the
fast
small
close
one.
fighters.
Pharaoh's the small one who controls Tor.
Okay, we are completely off topic,
But
guys.
yeah, no, this is relating to this. So, but at the end of it, Tor in the ending cutscene dies, and Farah starts to grow and get stronger, looking more like Tor. To eventually, she returns back to her tribe, and she now needs a rider because Farah was Tor's rider. So I feel like that's the process here, where eventually the baby, the blue Genghis Khan, will grow up to be a large Genghis Khan and raise their own children.
Okay, I'm
In
just
that
saying,
sense.
you both just threw me on such a freaking tour on this. I can't give this a rating at this point because, like, you screwed me up with your misogyny that you had to explain. You threw in some BS philosophical
It's
Dr.
misplaced
Freud,
misogyny.
Dr. Seuss BS. And I'm just like
It
over
was
here.
a valid
I'm just
question.
over here like based on aesthetics alone, I don't like this. But now I'm just like, holy crap! What the hell just happened in these last 10 minutes?
Well, we are basing these off of aesthetics, so
You know, they
what
just
is your
kind of
rating based on appearance?
they kind of just made the baby a bit bigger. They could have changed a lot about the actual mommy Kangaskhan,
Like
or
you made
whatever
you
gender it
made me
is.
like it, and then he made me like go on such a journey of hating it. And now, like full circle, I'm just like.
So I feel like they really cut a lot of corners working on this mega.
Mine's just a 3. I'm throwing that out there right now because I can't like process anymore what
Wow,
you
I
said.
was gonna give it a 4.
Okay.
I feel like Kangaskhan didn't need to grow, and the baby, the fact that it does, but then, like I said about the megas, when their power is exhausted, she'll just like go back into the pouch.
And shrink like half her size.
Yeah, it makes you think like, oh, what will happen next? 5. That's all I'm saying. Just 5. That's a 4. All right. Next.
Could I grab another soda?
Nope, but
Sure. Lopunny. So, some context on this. Lopunny is still a normal flying type of Pokemon, and her design is based off of a like kind of yoga style, like Kaibo style of like martial arts and exercise. That's why she looks like she's wearing like yoga pants, but they're torn yoga pants. Her ears do get longer. They look almost braided, which I find interesting.
FYI, guys, don't ever Google Lopunny.
You did, and that's your fault.
Yeah, that
I do kind of like the thing that like for her eyebrows. They kind of fuse together to do like this whole butterfly kind of thing.
I'll say this much: I don't like this. Like, I don't like this mega.
Really? What?
No.
Why?
It just feels like it's just another like you remember. Okay, you know what is it? What is the one that I just got in Sword? Kubfu
Oh.
and his evolutions.
Yeah. Well, he's a fine type too.
Well, what I was gonna say is like you know how you can turn him into one evolution or the other evolution.
Yeah.
That's
for
how this
Urshifu.
feels like. It feels like the original Lopunny and this one are like chooser evolutions.
Oh, okay.
Cause like this feels like
it doesn't feel like a step up for you.
No, it feels like this is like the other version that should have come out, where it's like you could choose to make it like a striker style bunny, and then this one is like this is a boxer style bunny. Like it's too similar and not different enough.
Okay.
Like it literally doesn't look like a step up. It looks like it should have been another version.
I personally feel like it's a step up. She's not as cute as her Lopunny form because her like the fluffs on the paws aren't as soft. The fluffs on the feet aren't as soft looking. They look more rounded and less puffy. They look like like how say like what's that called, the exercise back in like the 80s, jazzercise.
Oh yeah, jazzercise.
Yeah, it looks like a jazzercise outfit. This looks like something that if our like grandmas would be doing at like 9 o'clock, because that's when the program comes on.
I'm just saying this one looks like it was supposed to be like a taekwondo version. The original looks like it should have been a boxer version.
I can kind of see that. Well, Baniri, the previous evolution, says she does use her arms as like a set of fists to like extend punch.
Yeah. And I'm only saying that because in the original Lopunny, at least the one that I'm actually looking at right now, she has her hands up like a boxer does.
Okay. Does she though? Is she's not blocking her face. She's like holding her chest.
Yeah, you're doing it like this. This is how you originally start when you're a boxer.
I thought she looked like this. Like she's like cute.
This is sort of a neutral position. It's
just
between
a
blocking
neutral
and punching.
Yeah.
Okay. Versus this one, which looks more almost like a kickboxing style, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. It just looks like a different style version of what she is.
Okay.
It doesn't look like it's a step up. It just looks like, okay, did you want kickboxing bunny or did you want boxing bunny? Like literally, it's exactly like when you doing kung fu when you're in the
In the
dojo
Isle of
area.
Armor, yeah.
In the Isle of Armor. It doesn't feel like it's a step up. It just feels like it should have been the other one.
Spice, your thoughts.
I feel like this mega kind of came out of left field. I kind of saw Lopunny as a sort of martial art Pokemon, and like they usually do with them, they sort of evolve them respective to that sort of martial art they're supposed to be based off of. And I think this is just my ignorance showing, but I feel like Lopunny's gone from martial arts to ninja assassin.
Yeah, a little.
It just feels very out of character.
It feels like it honestly just feels like a different version of what she should have been. Like the original one is like the light version, this is the dark version.
Yeah, this is like the edgy story they write.
Yeah. Like this is like the original one is like the really popular twin. This is the twin that like, got in a lot of trouble in high school. But like she ended up becoming like a writer or something cuz emo.
And we're not looking for edgy, we're looking for
Better.
greater.
Yeah. Just like
I'm
a better version. And it's not like to say that these people aren't or this one's not a good version. It's just not an enhancement on who she is.
Lopunny, I think I gotta rate you a 5.
It's what
You're
you
giving her an
expect, but-
average.
Yeah, there's
I'm going back to
There
3.
needs more.
there's nothing about you.
I'm giving her a 3.
I'll say 3 too. Like, you could have done way more to emphasize the fighting aspect of it. You could have done way more to emphasize the... It didn't have to be edgy.
Mm-mm.
She could have been cuter.
Like, don't get me wrong, the design choice is amazing. I love it personally.
Hmm.
But it's just like, it feels like it should have been just another version of the same, like, you know how Eevees, there's always like 5 different Eevees? This feels like
Yeah.
it should have been that other evolution that you could have chose for Lopunny. So
Instead of a
that's
puncher, you can get a kicker.
yeah, exactly. That's
5.5.
like 5.5. The average is a 5.5. Oh,
Oh,
this one, yes!
Who set you on fire?
Lucario. Okay, this is what I'm talking about with...
fire.
This is what should have happened with Lopunny. There should have been more of an emphasis to
On
make
fire?
it look like a fighting type. He looks like he has like gloves on and a knee pad. He looks like an MMA fighter.
He looks like he would knock me out and just leave me on the ground.
He has more
He's
spikes.
that
The little
punching.
mask he has on his eyes, it has like more points to it, kind of making it look more warrior-esque, less like shinobi-ish,
This one looks like they were trying to do
or
a
more less like a bandit.
I was gonna say this one like seems like they're trying to do more ninja-y, but like added a lot of splashes of color. If that makes sense. But at the same time, like you lose a lot of the fighter. I think you lose the fighter thing.
Really?
I think it because like in the other one, it looks like he kind of has shorts, and this one it looks like he literally has molten lava going through his skin, and like his coloring drowns out because of that. And then like all of a sudden he now has like like when Torchic, like I hate when they do this to Pokemon where like they just add fur. And like in this one, it just added fur. So like, why is his tail all furry now? Why does he kind of look like he's also a fire type now? Like it doesn't make sense. Is he a fire type as a Mega?
No, he's a fighting steel type.
Well, he looks like a fire type.
Where's the steel on him?
The
That
spikes.
okay? No, that should have been it. They should have given him.
Like if they would have made his tail, like more steelish. Like when you look at the original one,
More robotic.
Well, like this in his original one, why is his tail now fluffy? He looks like he became an Arcanine.
It's
Like
the
this
magic
is
shirt.
this is Arcanine Lucario's actual child.
He's a fox, right? Lucario's a fox.
Ah.
So he just has a fluffier tail now.
That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense from a like aesthetic point.
This just looks like Lucario had some really busy time with the Arcanine and they had a child.
He should have kept his long tail, but added spikes to it.
Then also, why is there red? This looks like a fire type. It doesn't look at all like a steel fighter.
Again, I'm still saying that he looks more like an MMA fighter as opposed to like a boxer or something like that.
He
He's
doesn't look
using-
like an MMA fighter.
He's using
I can see a
his
wrestler.
punches, kicks,
I could see a wrestler with like all the flashiness.
Okay.
Yeah, the wrestler for sure, but like wrestlers don't fight. They like they pin each other down. It's a fighting style, but it's like
I mean, Cass. Either way, I don't want to go against a dude who sets himself on fire.
It's
It
less a
looks like he's
boxer,
on
more
fire.
a wrestler.
but not
And-
even a good wrestler.
I don't
This
know.
is a Nacho Libre wrestler.
I never got boxer from Lucario. I got more like a wrestler who knows Tai Chi.
Well, I was gonna say he kind of looks more like no. I would never.
Or
say
like a
that.
martial,
He looks
like
a
a Tai
guy
Chi
who,
martial artist.
He looks like Bruce Lee if he was in Pokemon.
You say that like there isn't a Pokemon named after Bruce Lee.
There is a
Call it
Pokemon
Hitmonlee.
Yeah, I know there is, but I'm just saying.
But he doesn't look like
Who
Bruce
weirdly
Lee.
enough
Or wait, no,
focuses,
Jackie
he
Chan.
focuses
That's what
more
I
on
meant to say. Jackie Chan.
Hitmonchan.
He looks more like Jackie Chan than he does Hitmonchan does. Like his original one.
So,
Hmm.
what is your rating?
You know, Lucy, I'm gonna give you a 6.
I'm giving it a 2.
I want spice. I'm saying 6.
You too, I swear.
4.6.
I really bring down the ratings, don't I?
When you don't like a Pokemon, you do not like a Pokemon.
I don't like a Pokemon. Like,
You know-
it shows in my voice.
I found those those real low numbers and those real high ones just drag it way up
Next.
or
Yeah.
way down.
Mawile.
Whoa.
I like Mawile.
Is that supposed to be like your hair?
Kinda.
Yes, so they're based off of a like a kanji, a kami. No, not kami because that's God. They're based on this like mythos of a woman who has like a mouth on the back of her head. So that's the original one, which kind of looks more like a bear trap. This one looks more Venus flytrappy with
Oh my
the
god.
two heads.
Skullgirls. What the hell is that chick's name?
Philia.
Philia. That's literally this.
Yeah.
This is Philia.
But this is like Philia times 2.
Yeah. Like, I actually like this one. I personally like it only because, like, you get, like, her hair now becomes longer a little in the back. It becomes more unruly. Like, oh my god, she's, like, actually ready to fight you. And it turns into, like, pigtails.
She gets more purple,
Hmm.
which helps with the dark typing,
Yeah.
I think, because that just makes it look more menacing.
And, like, the other thing is like, it kind of looks more like, when... I can't remember. Is it Kendo?
Yeah,
She looks
Akira.
almost like a Kendo fighter. But, like, it looks like her rank went up from her original form, and that's why the purple's there. Like, you get what I mean?
Yeah.
It, like, she looks more like a Kendo fighter now. I think that the fact that her hair gets longer, a little more unruly, and then it turns into pigtails, like, it's her being more powerful, and, like, I personally like this one.
Her, I want to call it a gi, because that's like the name of the uniform. I think it's more edgy, but that's what you want in a dark type Pokemon. You want it to look more evil, quote unquote evil.
Well, like, and even in the other one, it, like, seems like she's trying to be mysterious. This one, she's actually, like, looking back compared to the other one. And her mouth's open like she's ready to party.
There's a ferocity to this that you can appreciate.
Yeah.
So what's the rating? This one was quick. What was the rating?
Well,
You
wait,
know-
did you want to say anything else about her?
I really like how they use the color scheme
Mm-hmm.
to sort of throw on a completely different outfit for Mawile.
Mm-hmm.
I find it a really neat idea,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like it kind of
Enhanced it?
yes.
Yeah.
While I'm giving you an 8,
I also give it an 8.
I could give it a 2 to make things fair.
No. You know, I do love
Spice
it.
it up.
It does bring it up. She doesn't look like a, this should be like the next evolution, because Mawile only has the one.
Mm-hmm.
This looks like a, no, she is supposed to be extra. I'll say, to be fair, 7.
Okay. She's one of the very high ones we have compared
Yeah,
to some of the other ones.
7.6.
So,
Yeah,
like,
it's
that's...
the robes,
Yeah.
and that color scheme just looks amazing.
It really
It's still
does.
not our highest, but yes.
I still am wondering which one was
Okay,
our highest.
One more before we end this session.
Okay.
Or like this episode. Metacham.
Ah.
Again, another fighting type Pokemon. This is a psychic fighting type Pokemon. Similar to Gallade. But now this gives me more what's the name of the stretchy dude from Street Fighter? Dalsum?
Yeah.
This
Dawson.
gives me Dalsum vibes. This gives me like, oh, she has unlocked, or they have unlocked their chakra and have become more in tune with like the chi around them.
So, surprisingly enough, this for some reason, I don't know how this reminds me of this manga I read, but in it, this woman becomes a general, and how she actually defeats people is she becomes a belly dancer, and she like confuses. I'm not even joking. She became a belly dancer, confuses the people she's like fighting against, and she's able to take over like half the country because they underestimate her, and because she like is a showgirl, like, but she's a showgirl who's fierce. And for some reason, this reminds me so much of her compared to like what her original form, like the original Medicham looks like. But it just looks like, for me personally, it's more fierce because of that actual background of it. Is like this reminds me, and the more like decorated she was,
Mhm.
it was to kind of show how like she has like conquered people.
Yeah.
So like for me, compared to her other one, like that was like her beginning version, and this is like her like ultimate form. So for some reason, I like really like this one.
Okay, I do get like belly dancer vibes from the pants thing, and the little teardrop things. They look like the little like twinkly bits you
Sindles,
see. There's called sindles
I think so.
from like a belly dancer's garment.
I could totally be wrong though.
Her headpiece kind of looks like a crown, which I do appreciate. I wish more psychic types had this, where they had stuff like floating around them to display that they're psychic type.
Yeah.
Alakazam kind of has that with his like all of his spoons.
Mhm. And this is like another version of that.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty cool. I like it. I personally really like it because they kept to the color scheme. They added a little extra endorsements. And like for my background, because of that story I said,
Mhm.
it makes me really appreciate it because like I've seen where it's something like that, and it's like there's a reason she became more decorated. It's because she became so much more powerful.
Spice, you've been quiet. Your analysis?
Well, I can see that there's been a massive change in her,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm a little bit terrified of this Mega just because she was already a capable fighter before, but now she has 4 extra arms to hit with.
Are those arms?
It
I
kinda
figured
looks like
I figured she'd use them to fight,
They
wouldn't she?
kind of look like bandages that were created like arms.
Yeah. Okay.
So I feel like it definitely shows she's a bit more capable.
Mm-hmm.
She's also more well adorned, but it fits very well within the style.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing is when you compare it to the original one, the look on her face is more calculating
Okay.
compared to the other one. Because like in the other one, it kind of just looks like it's more of a blank slate,
Mhm.
and in this one, it looks like she knows what she's gonna do to you.
In the old one, her
Hmm.
mind is clear and she is calm. In this one, she has already predicted what moves you're going to use against her.
And
She's already figured
mad
out
about
5
it.
different
Okay.
ways to
Yeah.
take you out.
Yeah,
All right.
I really like this.
Medicham?
Final rating.
I'll give you a 6.
I give it an 8.
6.
And so the total score is
66.
6.6. Oh, she is the devil's number.
Not even. Come on.
It's
We
almost
do one
one
more.
for each
We
arm.
do one more.
Okay.
Okay.
Metagross.
Metagross.
Oh.
I don't think this one changed very much, right?
Psychic, still in Pokemon, his forearms are no longer on his, like, the top part. They're now facing you.
Did he always have that chin?
No. The chin is an
When that
spike.
goatee come in.
The X on his face is now, like, gold.
Yeah.
Ooh. You definitely look a bit more, gaudy.
This one seems a little bit more, I think, capable because it's not like crawling on the floor anymore. It's like actually jumping up to attack you.
Yeah.
Like it's the difference between a spider on their web and a spider about to kill you.
I mean, just from this picture, it kind of looks like it could fly to me.
Yeah.
Oh, Metagross can't fly, but that's because it's a psychic type. It's a steel psychic type Pokemon.
Well, this kind of like shows its more psychic version of it then.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty cool. And then I do like that they do change the X kind of like, yeah, no, this is a complete step up. Like it's going from silver to gold.
Yeah.
Like this is the Olympics, and this one won.
Yeah.
Okay, so before, like with Brazong and Metang, the
And
the,
like, how
claw
did he
thing
win?
has kind of shaped like
Those
this.
giant claws.
With this
Yeah.
one, it's more like it's more hooked which I do really like.
These actually look like claws, whereas like in the original one, it looks like he's like it's just stomping into the ground.
Yeah.
Like they look like meat tenderizers before, and now they look like they're gonna kill you and slice you.
What's the name of that? Like pythons, the things used to climb rocks.
Yeah.
Or they look like stakes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And for Metagross, they look like stakes.
Mm-hmm.
These, they look like drills. They look like they're trying to not pin into the ground, but to try and claw
They're
into
swiping
it.
at you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
You
just
know-
like he won, and he just grew a goatee because he won. Like that's like
Ooh, maybe that's it. Like he latches onto a rock and then pierces into it with the chin spike.
okay. You say that, and now I don't like the placement of it.
You know,
That could be interesting. It's an idea. It reminds me of what's the name of that bacteria? The ones that they kind of like. They also like talk about in Steven Universe. The one where like it can
E.
pierce
coli?
into. No, is it the one that, like it can pierce into the earth and it like does something with it to create gems?
I just remember it as a drill.
Yeah, well, it's those things.
I remember it as E. coli. for
This
some
gives
reason.
me some
E.
vibes of that.
coli is a bacteria you get in like real world.
Not a viral.
Like how it's designed.
Not a
the bacteria
virus.
kind of looks like that.
Well, he definitely looks kind of like the drill from Steven Universe.
Hmm
It's
I'm not talking about the movie. I'm talking about the ones from the kindergarten.
I know which ones you're talking about.
Okay.
I'm just saying it's just it.
Just
yeah.
as long as everyone knows.
Yeah. All right. So what do you give the rating?
I give him a 7.
I give it a
I
5.
do really like it.
What about you, Spice?
I think I'll give it a 7 too.
Okay.
I love that we're just so off the
7,
scales on
5,
this.
7, 6.3.
Definitely not the
Worse
golden
than
number.
Metachan, but still great.
Who was Metachan?
6.6.
You.
That's why he's worse.
You. I can't even. With the, I'm gonna die.
Well, hey, let's take a break. On the next episode, we're gonna keep rating these megas. We're at M now. We were at G. We're now at M. We're
We're
a
getting
third of the
there.
ways there, which I'm ready for.
I still can't get
We'll
that
see you
out.
on the next
I still
episode.
can't get that out of my head with
Bye.
hair across with you. Just ew. No. 1.